Welcome to Top 3 Bob. I'm Bob, helping you towards your goals of becoming healthy, wealthy, and wise. Today, the title of the program is How to Buy an Index Fund on Vanguard. If you've watched any of my other videos, my number one recommendation if you have any money to invest long term is to invest in an index fund. And the number one company I believe, and many of the great advisors that I have read have suggested, is Vanguard. So what I'm going to show you today is how to get onto their website and how to kind of navigate it, especially if you're the novice or new investor. It may be a little intimidating. And I'm just going to kind of show you the tabs that I think will help you the most to make the best decision as to which Vanguard index fund you may want to purchase. Now, if you are new into investing, you need to know this, that on the Vanguard site you're going to need to have at least $3,000, and I would say $3,000 of money that you are not going to need for several years to even start. The only other way around that is if you are involved in some program through your work where you're investing, maybe they have a matching fund where you put in some money, they put in some money, and in that case then Vanguard's going to let you start with less money. But for those of you who are doing this on your own and like to invest in the stock market in a safe manner and probably the most efficient manner and probably the most profitable manner, you're going to want to go to Vanguard, and we'll give this a go. Okay, the first thing you're going to want to do is go to your web browser and type in Vanguard, or go ahead right up to the line there and type in Vanguard.com. That's V-A-N, as you can see here, V-A-N-G-U-A-R-D, and you'll come to their home page. Under their home page, you're going to want to click on the tab that says Personal Investors. So you click on that tab, and when you get to this page, I would actually just go right down to the tab here on the lower left here that actually says Investing Help. And as you wave the arrow over it, I would go first up to choose the help that's right for you. So Investing Help, then come over here and choose the help that's right for you. Now, in this case here, you can get tools to invest on your own, or you can have occasional help, which I don't know that they'll charge you for that, but they're definitely going to charge you if you want them to partner with you. So I'd like to see that you try to do it on your own first. So right here where it says choose the help that's right for you, give me the tools to invest on my own. So click on that, and right here then we're going to show you two different ones that I want you to look at. One is if you're investing for really any goal, not necessarily retirement, but any goal. You're going to click on Get a Fund Recommendation. Now this is what I think is kind of a nice feature by Vanguard. What this is going to do is ask you a bunch of questions to help you decide which fund may suit you the best. This question, for example, the length of time I plan to invest before I begin withdrawals. Well, if you're going to invest it only for 3 to 5 years, you just slide this little slide over to the 3.5 or 3 to 5 year mark. If you're going to invest it much longer, you can slide it over further. If you plan to invest or withdraw my money from this investment over a period of time, over 3 to 5 years, you could put that there also. This is trying to determine how much risk you're willing to take, and so it's got a couple questions on that. I'll just put the middle of the road on both of these. And this chart here is which is really helpful. It shows how much you could gain in 1 year and lose in 1 year, based upon how much volatility you're willing to accept. So let's say, for example, if you're willing to accept a lot of volatility, your fund, if it's a $10,000 fund, this is based on a $10,000 fund, could make as much as $4,229 in 1 year. It could also lose $3,639 in 1 year. If you're willing to put up with that, though, you want to go ahead and click the most volatility. If you're not, and you want the least volatility, again, you have to understand there's a trade-off with each one. If you pick the least volatility, over time your fund is not going to grow as much as if you'd pick the most volatility. And then it asks you how stable are your income sources, such as your salary or pension. You know, how stable is your job, you know, that you're going to be able to keep investing. So again, you put maybe somewhat stable in the middle, and then you want to enter the amount you're going to invest, which you have to put at least $3,000 or it'll kick it out. And then you've picked all those. You want to go ahead and get your recommendation, and it's going to have you have to accept their policies. So you just hit accept, and in this case they're recommending the Vanguard Life Strategy Income Fund. And beyond that, if you still aren't comfortable with that choice, you go ahead and call an associate. Now I'm going to talk about the other option if you looked at maybe investing more for your retirement. So I'm going back to the initial page, and again we're going to pick the choice of personal investors, and then again we're going to go back down to investing help and choose the help that's right for you, going through all that again just like I did. Now we're going to go ahead and again give me the tools to invest on my own. This is where we were before, and now instead of getting a fund recommendation, we're going to go to the retirement slot, and under the retirement slot what I'd like you to look at is Vanguard Target Retirement Funds. Now what's cool about these funds, and if you look down here, you'll go down through it and it'll explain what it is, but you pick the time frame, estimate in how many years you think you're going to retire. So let's say your current age is 18 to 20 and you have about 46 years to retire. You would click on this. All right, let's say you're at my age, 51 to 55 and about 12 years to retire. I'm going to click on that. Now it's going to give me a fund, a target fund that they would recommend, and it's called the Vanguard Target Retirement Fund 2025 Fund. And what this fund does, as it gets closer and closer to what my retirement age would be, it becomes more conservative. So initially in 2014, which it is right now, you can see 68% of it is in stocks and 31% is in bonds. Over time, the amount in stocks, can you see the red mark here, actually declines significantly. And as I get to less than 5 years, now I'm down to about 20% stocks, and the blue has increased, which is the amount of bonds, and which are traditionally a lot more safer than stocks, and you can see they've increased, and I'm guessing that looks like it's about at least 50% of it is in stocks. Then they also have it in some other international stocks is the yellow, and they've also got in the blues, which is some bonds, other types of bonds and tips. So you can see basically it does the work for you. It's going to readjust your portfolio so it becomes more conservative as you get near your retirement age. So this is, I think this is, if you're just looking at a retirement fund, you can just pick one fund. It'll pick the mix for you. It's an index fund, like is always highly recommended by all the experts, and including Warren Buffett. So I think that's a good way to go. And once you get to that point, then you can go ahead and hit the button to invest now, and it'll then take you through the steps that you need to do to open a new account or a transfer account or whatever. They're very good to speak to over there at Vanguard too, and here's a Vanguard representative that you can call. I would highly recommend them. I couldn't be happier with them. Good luck.